This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Ah, you are liking it. Tell us more.
I'm a little bit disappointed with Kim Cattrall not being there.
See?
Yeah.
Hey, Gwen. You made it. Yay, welcome, sweetie. Happy New Year. You guys, I had a thought. I think it would be really trashy, but two options instead of Kim Cattrall, and not Sharon Stone, because as I said, she would be too aggressive, Basic Instinct-ish. But still, we could do that. I would live for a Sharon Stone moment. But if we really wanted to go really trash, we could do Madonna as Samantha.
No, wait a minute. Do we mean 90s Madonna or 80s Madonna or the Frozen era Madonna? Or
No, we're talking metaverse.
Oh,
we're
okay.
talking metaverse Madonna of today. We're talking
the Madonna of the 90s. I can see that.
I'm the Madonna of the 90s. I'm the sex era Madonna. No. Then I could be giving. No, we're talking the metaverse Madonna of today, where the face doesn't move. She's Samantha. Or listen to this. If we really wanted a really good Samantha, Patsy Stone, Jonna Lumley from
Joanna
AbFab.
Lumley.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That
Wouldn't
was
she be a
hilarious.
great Samantha? Because listen, this is the twist. Because you know that Samantha is now in London in the new show. She left, she's in London. So they could do this really funny twist, like at the end of the season, Samantha comes back from London and she now speaks with the British accent, and it's Joanna Lumley.
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
Cheers,
Yeah.
mate.
That would be
Oh,
amazing.
That would be hilarious.
Holly Grace says, at this point, Dacob, I'll accept anything. It can't get worse. Throw Madonna in there. Yeah.
But it seems like from what, the recaps that you do and other people, it seems like maybe Carrie might be having a little early onset stuff.
Yeah, it
You know
could
what I
be, but a lot of
mean?
people are saying no because then they couldn't have a season 2, Kira, are you there? Turn on your camera backstage, sweetie. Turn on your camera backstage, sweetie. We see you, but we don't see you. This dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever it is, come on, please let it not be that.
Yeah.
But
It would
but
be
what I'm
really. I'm sorry.
no, tell me.
No, I'm saying it would be really wrong because Carrie is such an iconic character, and to have her kind of go down that road, it's like, oh, it's a bit heartbreaking to like see somebody who, communication was their living, fashion was their living, their ability to, to be is taken away because of that. And I
Yeah.
don't know, it just kind of seems that that's the route they're going and based on all the reviews I've done for every episode.
So and just like that, Carrie forgot she was iconic.
Right. Kind of having a little Iris moment. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie. I think Kate Winslet and Judi Dench were in it. They were both playing she was a writer. I forgot her last name. It's Iris something, but she had dementia and it was showing like the different stages of her life from her youth and her husband taking care of her. And I'm just like, I don't think fans would love that at all if that's the case.
I hope they don't. I hope they don't bring it in. We don't really need it. I can
Yeah.
understand.
Well, we don't really need it, but you guys, they do call the and just like that, they call it a limited time event or limited time event series, which is usually defined as a one-time series, like they did Twin Peaks: The Return, limited event series, one season only. However, they did trick us with Big Little Lies on HBO. They also called it limited event series so that they can sneak in and win all the awards at the Emmys or whatever. And then when they won the awards, they switched and said, "Oh, no, not limited anymore. We're going to do a season 2. Thank you very much for the awards." But Holly Grace says, Dacob, you were right about the dementia. I reckon they are going to close the whole thing off after one season. But How do you explain all the dementia moments? Listen, I've heard rumors that they want to do more seasons. Why would you end a show that was so fabulous? Why would you end it with like, oh well, oh poor Carrie, it's the end of her? Like,
Yeah,
why? That what a way to go.
but it
Don't
also depends
think
on Sarah Jessica Parker as well, because is she like co-producer or something like that?
Yeah, she's an exec.
Yeah,
Oh,
executive.
she's in charge. She's
Right.
large and in charge, and she wanted the show to come back. So like it's not like she's like, oh, let's bring the show back so I can like get really sick and have a fabulous ending. Like, that's not-
I don't know. It kind of makes me feel a little bit like I don't know if you guys remember David Cassidy. My mom was a big Partridge Family fan, so I grew up listening to David Cassidy.
wow,
And
that's a minute ago.
but he passed from dementia and he was relatively young. And it was like it just kind of like it came out of nowhere. It came in real fast for him or something. And that's kind of what I'm getting with, this the recaps with Carrie and just like that. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Personally speaking, I'd rather see Return to Hogwarts, but that's me.
Oh my god, Hogwarts, amazing. But you know what? You guys, but I have to admit, I felt a little bit a Carrie vibe for me today because after the news of Betty White passing away,
Oh,
it hit me and then it hit and then at first I was like, okay, well, we were expecting this because it's been, she's but then when I started crying and I couldn't stop and I kind of couldn't like I kind of became numb for like half an hour and I was also like lethargic. I was also like, okay, well, no, I'm not hungry. And I was
you
just
felt
sitting
the
there for like
same. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
I
you
felt
felt the
like I'm not hearing anybody anymore. I'm not seeing anything anymore. So that whole scene that we have in the first episode of Carrie in her kitchen table forgetting that Miranda offered her a coffee kind of made a different sense all of a sudden because I was reminded today how it is to really be grieving.
yeah.
But then forgetting her own telephone number in episode 2, that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, see, that's where I keep thinking that that's the storyline it's gonna go with. And then of course, with Betty White passing, the same way that you felt is the same way I felt when Anne Rice passed. Because
Oh,
remember I was on when you did the call-in show last time and I was talking and I'm just like, that woman had a very significant, part of my life, with her books and stuff. So the way that you felt about Betty White is the same way I felt about Anne Rice. And the fact that both of these women were trailblazers in their own right. I mean, Betty White's career goes back to the 30s,
yeah.
the 1930s. you know, s- like whose career spans that long and to just keep
Yeah.
moving and to inspire, different generations of people. I watched the reruns of Mary Tyler Moore show and I grew up on the Golden Girls, so that's where I knew her from. And then everybody comes in like all this other stuff. And it's just like, it's really weird when someone who has been such a fixture in popular culture that you've grown up with, in some cases that you've idolized, has gone on to what I say the next realm. And
Yeah.
so it's like you do lose a part of yourself,
Oh,
and
completely.
but
Completely. And I was
99
just
is amazing,
yeah, I was just saying today also like because my grandma's passed away when I was very young. So but I started watching the Golden Girls when I was really very young and then like you add up all the years and after my grandparents passed away, I kept watching the Golden Girls. So the Golden Girls have been in my life longer than my grandparents have been.
yeah.
And so it's a weird concept, but it literally, the Golden Girls keep talking. I don't have many recorded audio, if any, really rare videos of my grandparents talking. So it's kind of like the Golden Girls always talk to me. I usually fall asleep to them. I just have them on loop on YouTube. And they are like my family more than just friends and a virtual family, but guess what, you guys are too, because we spend like every weekend together virtually. I mean, how is this any different? sure, we have an interaction where I actually ask you a question and you answer me. So there's more human interaction. Because I mean, sometimes I'm like but then again, even with the Golden Girls, I know what they're going to say. I know everything by heart by now, right? But it makes me feel comfortable because it makes me feel safe because I know what's coming next. So in a way, I talk to them. I kind of, beat Sophia to the pun because I know what she's going to say. I say it before her. And I'm like, beat you to the pun, Sophia. So in a way, I am also talking to them, even though, of course, it's a bit more limited, but it feels like my family. It literally feels like a family member has passed away. So it's very painful. And just reining it back into Sex and the City, I feel like if they pull this kind of thing with Carrie on us at the end of the season, like that's really going to be so painful. And I don't know if it's warranted, honestly. Like, why cause so much pain to fans of the show? I mean, it's painful. It's like I would feel pain, really, if I knew that Carrie was, as much as Carrie is my least favorite of the four, I would still be like, no, I don't want her to have to go through this. I mean, then just don't do a third season. I mean, not a third season. Just don't do this. Just don't do it at all. Why even do it? Why do we have to suffer through 10 episodes to find out, oh, by the way, it's over? I'm like, well, yeah, it was over 10 years. Like, yeah, just like that, I forgot. It's like, I don't get it.
Who knows with today, this day and age, networks and streaming platforms are constantly bringing back nostalgic shows and sometimes messing them up greatly. Thank you, Kevin Smith. And it's just, it's like, why? Like, I understood the movies, everybody wanted the movies after the TV show. And it was like, okay, great. But now it's like, why not just have a limited run to catch up with these characters that, a lot of ladies love? And, to be honest, Sex and the City was the first time I heard about Manolos, and Jimmy Choo. So it was like,
Me too.
oh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Manolo didn't exist for me before Sex and the City.
Yeah, no. I was okay, we going to the mall and get a pair of shoes.